Premier of Disneyland Handcrafted. My name is Jason Recker. I have the great privilege of leading the public relations team in Disney Experiences. I get to talk about Disney parks and churros all day. It's a pretty cool job. But speaking of popcorn and churros, our friend Thomas Maslam and the folks at Disneyland Resort have shipped up some churros, some popcorn, some Mickey bars, and everything for you afterwards. Walt's office will be open for tours, which allows you to step back into this time period we're about to take you back into. So be sure to check that out. And Mickey Mouse will be here. But before we get started, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Chief Brand Officer of the Walt Disney Company, Asad Ayaz.
Hello. Great to see you. Welcome to the premiere of Disneyland Handcrafted. I think it's pretty exciting that it is Disneyland's 70th anniversary. And, it is this film, we're so proud of this film because it does such an incredible job just showing you what it took. And, Disneyland was not always the icon that it is today. It was an idea, and it took an incredible team of artists and craftsmen and dreamers, frankly, to bring it to life. And I think what this film does really beautifully is it takes you right there. You're there with the orange groves, and you see kind of what it took to build this incredible place and bring it to life. And it was one man's kind of impossible dream come true. And I think one thing I also want to mention is we have some guests with us today. I want to mention Bob Gurr, who is here with us and is the only kind of voice who is with us in this room today, and we're excited to have him here. And also Leslie Iwerks, our director and filmmaker, is Disney royalty herself. She is the daughter of Don Iwerks, Disney legend, and the granddaughter of Disney legend and icon Bob Iwerks, who created Mickey Mouse. We also have with us today Juju Green, better known as Straw Hat Goofy, who actually started. Juju started as a frontline cast member at Disneyland and has gone on to have an incredible career covering the entertainment industry. So Juju is going to lead a brief Q&A with Leslie before we roll the film. So please welcome Juju Green and Leslie Iwerks.
Oh my God, let me hear it, guys. I like it.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh my God, this is a big theater, too. My gosh. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in here. Tiffany, hi. I see you over here. Patrick. Where's Cleo? Cleo, where you at? Cleo? There he is. Dimitri. But there's a lot of Disney fans up in here, a lot of Disneyland fans. I know a lot of people have probably been to the parks about 1 million times, and the beautiful thing about Disneyland is that it's never finished, meaning that they're always going to see something new. But when it comes to this film, Disneyland Handcrafted, they're going to see something no one's ever seen before, something that's being brought to life for the very, very first time. Leslie, can you tell me, what is it about this footage that's uniquely makes you want to kind of like share it with everybody?
Well, first of all, thank you everybody for coming. It's so great to see everybody. When we were doing the Imagineering story, my editor, Mo Stovey, and producer, Mark Catalina, had the great idea to say, what if we put this together in sort of an archivally, construed way where you're not going away to talking heads and other things. You are living in this footage. And so what we did was we took all this, over 200 reels of material, and almost like an archaeological dig, we forensically went through each reel and pulled it apart and figured out what was where and what time frame each shot was. And these cameramen, that Walt tasked to do this, to shoot all this, was, they shot it observationally, they shot it, time lapse, they shot it with aerial footage, they shot it behind the scenes. And so all this material, in my experience, I've never seen it, and I could not believe it. So we basically constructed it, in scenes with all these wide shots, tight shots, etc., and then built it through from beginning to end, from the basically groundbreaking up through opening day, and ultimately scoured transcripts all over the place to find the best sound bites that tell the story of what everybody went through and what Walt went through to pull this off. And it really started to sort of emboss itself as like this really dramatic story, and so that's what we created. And we had a great team, our archival team, and our music supervisors, and everybody that came together to make this so great, and also our brain trust. You know who you are, you're in the credits, but just thank you, everybody who came together to make this film, to make it so, just rock solid as far as accuracy. And the other thing I was going to say is that this was all silent film. So when we saw it, we thought, wow, we got to build a whole soundtrack. So we went up to Skywalker, and Bonnie Wild and the team at Skywalker did this amazing job building every single sound effect you hear. Outside of the TV shows, all the original footage was all silent.
Think about that, y'all. Every single sound effect that you hear was literally handcrafted.
And authentically so. I mean, it was very much handcrafted, and all the sound effects were really, authentically from the time, and a lot of work went into this.
It sounds like a lot of painstaking work, and I can tell you're getting a little emotional right now because your crew is here, you're here, and to put in all that work to show everybody this, it's a beautiful thing. Something that I really want to talk about is like the legacy. Like something that you brought up when we talked about this outside of here was, Walt created something impossible, right? And he still went out of his way to kind of like get a crew together to do all these shots, and then it took all these decades for us to finally see it. And it's that legacy that makes this such a beautifully told story, told by yourself and your crew and everyone involved. When it comes to the legacy, you are deep into the DNA. Your father, your grandfather, legends. You're a legend in this space.
I'm not a legend. I'm a legend.
You're my legend. Okay, I'm sure for a lot of people in here, you're the legend. Thank you for backing me up there, guys. But when it comes to kind of like growing up in Disney, can you talk to me about like how your perspective shaped how you told this story?
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, my grandfather of Iwerks, co-creator Mickey Mouse and designer, and my dad, my mom, and who's here tonight, and my dad, 96, he's here with us in spirit. He's watching from afar in Ojai. But, I grew up around this and hearing these stories of my grandfather and just watching my dad, do what he did and all the things that he invented and created at Disney. It was just such an honor to be over the shoulder of him and sometimes come back here to the back lot and walk around and whatnot, go backstage at Disneyland and Disney World. And that was just awe-inspiring as a kid. And so I think when I saw this footage, it was really cool for me because I never knew how Disneyland was created or constructed. So, and I often think about it like, what other place on the planet would you want to watch the making of a building or a location?
Yeah.
Like this has more of a fan base than I think anywhere in the world.
We joked about like the Eiffel Tower. It doesn't come here to Disney.
Right. It's like it's the happiest place on earth that Walt dubbed. So that's this construction, and it's just more than construction. It's about the building of the DNA of where all this magic was created. And he really wanted to create the happiest place on earth. He wanted people to leave their worries at the gate. And he wanted to make people leave as a better person than when they arrived. He wanted to elevate. Yes, thank you. And I think that's what's emotional to me is just to think his vision was in his head, the magic was in his head, and he mobilized all these people, all these engineers and craftspeople to sort of follow him, to do everything they could to bring his dream to fruition. When something like this was unheard of and people were doubting him left, right, and center. So I think it's just a truly inspirational story that we can continue to build happiness, that happiness is not an unforeseen ideal, especially in today's world. And I think we need it more than ever. And so this film really inspires me in that way.
And something that you mentioned before, like you said, like when it comes to Walt's determination to see this thing through and to make it happen, like he did it in what, like a year, some change or something like that? And
1 year.
It's crazy to like there's buildings that take like 10 years to make, right? And we don't even get ordinance and codes and things like that.
No, you can't even do your bathroom in a year. As you said earlier, there's potholes that can't be done in a year.
Right. So next time you guys have a pothole in your street, you're trying to get it taken care of by the city, and they say, oh, we can't do it, it's going to take a while. You just say, Walt Disney built Disneyland in a year!
Right.
With a box of scraps!
You can do it too.
You can do it too. So when it comes to Disneyland, when it comes to this film, when I watched this film, because I got the privilege to like kind of see it before a lot of people, there was a lot of emotions that just kind of like washed over me, especially being like, you know, a former Disney cast member. And I do have like hope that like a lot of people are going to be feeling a lot of things when they watch this as well. But what is it that you hope audiences feel when they watch this film and they walk out of this?
Well, I can never, you know, tell people what to think, but I can just say that I personally felt a whole new, renewed appreciation for what Walt's vision was and what he wanted and what he went through, all the adversity that he went through to make us all, to this day, experience these parks around the world. And to think that this was just a dirt lot, and then now there's 12 theme parks around the world, and this is the blueprint, this is the DNA for all these places. And you think about every single minute on the earth, there is happiness being created at these parks. And these parks aren't just a park, they are a place of pilgrimage for millions of people around the world, yearly, if not monthly, if not weekly, but certainly generationally. So it's not just a theme park, it's something that means so much to so many people around the world. And I've traveled to all these parks and to watch how many people experience every single moment and take photos and just live and breathe these characters and these stories. And there's just, it's something beyond just the parks, and that's Walt's vision is what I think I'm most impressed by.
Yeah.
And then also it's just the fact that this film was, you know, a project that was a real passion project. And you know, one day I showed a link with Jason Recker here at Disney, and you know, I said this is a project that needs to get finished, you know, and he saw it and he said, my God, this is great, we need to share this. So he shared it with Alana Hall-Smith. Thank you so much, Alana, and thank you to Asad Ayez for championing this and funding it, and ultimately to Bob Iger and Josh Tomorrow, who ultimately saw it and Bob Iger's note when he saw it was, it's really emotional, it's great, but you need more conflict, even more conflict. And I mean, what CEO tells you that? So, you know, kudos to Bob.
That's great. Well, Leslie, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Keep everyone here. Thank you for coming out this one.
I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming.
And to everybody else, yes, please give it up, guys. And I'm going to say that when you finish the film, make sure you guys keep the conversation going. Talk about it online on social media. I know there's a lot of social media people out here. Talk about it with your friends and your family. Go on Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, whatever you got to do to get the word out on this film, your feelings on this film out. We would greatly appreciate it. Disneyland Handcrafted premieres on January 22nd. That's not a word, is it?
Yeah, on YouTube and Disney Plus.
Yes.
And also, big, huge kudos to the Disney Archives team, Becky Klein and her whole team, who just amazing. Without Becky and her team, this would not be here. And Becky, thank you. And go tour Walt's office. It's up there. You can go see it after this.
All right, well, thank you, Leslie. Iwerks, everybody. I'm Judy Green, and make sure you guys enjoy Disneyland Handcrafted.